Good afternoon, families. Welcome to the open house presentation for the 2020-2021 school year. Before we begin, we want to ground ourselves in the mission of Sugar Creek Charter School. Our mission is to eradicate generational poverty by providing a college and career preparatory education from kindergarten to 12th grade. Whether we are remote or in brick and mortar, we want to be sure we're setting our students up for success through academic preparation so that they can succeed in high school, college, and beyond, and really grounding them in the life skills necessary to live a choice-filled life in the future. We have a brief message from our principal before we begin.
Welcome, Sugar Creek Charter School families. Welcome, Wildcats. Welcome, students. Welcome, all stakeholders, to the 2020-21 Sugar Creek Charter School Open House. It's me, Richard Russell, your elementary principal. Hope you guys are safe, healthy, and strong, and ready for a great year. Well, we are here at Open House. Walking these hallways, I'm looking for you, and I really wish I could see it, but we gotta do what we gotta do. And I know usually we're in the building, we're greeting each other, we're seeing each other, it's been a few months and we're all happy to see each other like a family reunion. But unfortunately, COVID-19 is saying otherwise right now. So we have to do exactly what we need to do to stay safe. And that's what we will do this school year. Fortunately, COVID-19 cannot stop us from learning, and we will learn remotely, safely, at home. But in order to do something like this, we need to make sure that we have some commitments on all sides for all stakeholders. It's important as parents and guardians that you know what kind of commitments our staff is willing to make. We want you to know that Sugar Creek Charter School is a welcoming, collaborative, and supportive environment. Sugar Creek Charter School is invested in your students' academic, behavior, and social and emotional learning. We also need our students to make these commitments as well. And these commitments reflect our STARS rules. S, show respect to yourself and other students. T, transition in a safe and orderly manner. That will be back in the building, but at home as well. Accept responsibility. A, accept responsibility. R, ready to learn. And S, support your school. Our next major commitment is going to be attendance. Attendance is so important this year. Okay. Attendance will be recorded and required every single day. Please make sure that you connect with your teacher if for any reason that you will not attend a live session. Right? Live sessions are so important because they give you effective instruction and immediate feedback to student work. We understand that you get sick, we understand that technology fails, and we understand that sometimes you have a family emergency. But please contact your teacher as soon as you know that you will not make a live session. Please do not make a habit in just watching recordings and just doing the daily work on your own. Make it a habit to be in a live session every single day. Always remember that we are family at Sugar Creek Charter School. Thank you for becoming a member of our family. Thank you for being here. Please learn as much as you can at this open house. Have some fun and have a great day. And as we say here at Sugar Creek Charter School, we're positively flexible. We are all in and we do whatever it takes. Thank you.
I wanted to take a moment to introduce the team. I'm Mrs. Hodges, and I'm the first grade curriculum facilitator. I'm in charge of managing teaching and learning for first grade. Please never hesitate to reach out to me should you have a concern about your child's learning. Ms. Barton Miss Davis, and Mrs. Patino. She's the kindergarten and first grade interventionist and a wonderful addition to our team. To jump right in, virtual learning and the first day of school is Monday, August 17th. Learning hours starting Monday, August 17th will be 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. The daily schedule for students from Mondays through Thursdays looks like this. We'll begin with a morning meeting from 8 a.m. until 8:15, and then from 8:15 till 8:45, we'll do whole group phonics instruction. From 8:45 to 8:50, students will take a brain break and then transition into whole group reading, which will last until 9:40. From 9:40 to 9:45, students will take another brain break and have the opportunities to get some wiggles out before transitioning to whole group math from 9:45 until 10:30. After math, we'll have specials, so students will have art, PE, or character education, followed by another brain break before transitioning into small group guided reading from 11:05 to 11:45. At 11:45, students will take another brain break and then have lunch from 11:50 to 12:20. During lunchtime, students can put themselves on mute and turn off their camera as long as they stay logged into the Zoom meeting. From 12:30 to 1, students will have small group reading, and then from 1 to 1:30, students will have small group math. We're really excited to offer whole group and small group instruction as well as specials, and excited to make sure students are only having one Zoom call to log into during the day. If your student participates in EC or intervention pullout groups, those will begin August 24th. A little bit of the curriculum we'll be using this year is similar to what the curriculum we used last year if you were a kindergarten student with us. For math, we will be using Eureka and Eureka and Sync. Eureka and Sync is the online component to Eureka Math, which will offer our students online lessons, extra videos for remediation, and digital manipulatives. For reading, we'll use the Common Core standards to create whole group lessons and have small group guided reading on students' instructional reading levels. This year for phonics, we'll be using Fundations, which is a research-based whole group curriculum. And for science, we'll be using Flying Classroom. We're so excited to offer Fundations this year, and even more excited that students will be able to pick up manipulative kits. You can come by the school on Friday, August 21st from 8 a.m. till 3 p.m. to drive through and pick up your students' Fundations kit. This kit includes a whiteboard, a magnet board, magnets, and their student workbooks for the year. It's really, really important your students come and pick these materials up so that they can fully engage in our instruction. We know learning at home is hard, and so we have a suggested at-home schedule. We don't want our students waking up and rolling onto Zoom. Hopefully they can wake up around 7 and 7:30 like they would on their way to a brick and mortar school to get up, get dressed, brush their teeth, and wash their face. From 7 to 7:50 would be a great time for your scholar to eat a strong breakfast because lunch is a little later in the day, and we want to be sure that they have a full belly so they can focus. Around 7:50 to 8 is the time to sign on to Canvas and access the student's Zoom link, and then from 8 to 1:30 will be our instruction. 1:30 to 3, once live instruction ends, will be a time for students to complete any remaining assignments, reach out to teachers, and wrap up learning for the day. 3 to 8 is your time to enjoy the day. And then 8 to 8:30 is a great time to start preparing for bed and charging your device. 8:30 is a great time for our students to go to sleep so they can have a great night's sleep and be ready to learn the next day. Fridays will be offering independent study, so there will be no live instruction. During Fridays, students will be assigned differentiated instruction for either extension or remediation. These will be self-directed activities that students can access on programs such as iReady, Zern, Epic, and Eureka and Sync. Teachers will also host office hours on Friday from 2 to 3 p.m. to reach out to any students who might need assistance. It's very important we have your student in class, on Zoom, and ready to learn. Daily attendance is going to be required and expected during remote learning. Attendance will be taken and recorded in PowerSchool each day. Students will be counted as present if they attend live classes on Zoom and complete their work. We do understand that situations come up, and if a student is not able to attend a live class, please contact the teacher. They will be counted as present if they watch the recorded videos and complete work after conferencing the teacher. If you have any questions about this in conjunction with our schedule, please reach out to us so we can work together to help support you and your student. Grading will happen based off of remote learning. Our breakdown of grades is that tests will be 35%, classwork will be 35%, quizzes and homework and participation will each be 15%. You can expect about 2 grades per subject each week, and teachers will be updating those grades regularly. If you would ever like to see your students' grades, you can access them through the Parent Portal Hub of PowerSchool. If you do not have access to this hub, please contact Christopher Dunn. His email is dunn.christopher@thesugarcreek.org. We want to be able to teach your student at the happy challenge level where they need to be taught. Because of that, we'll be giving our students the iReady diagnostic at the beginning, middle, and end of the school year. If you were with us for remote learning in the spring, you're probably familiar with your student working on iReady. This is a test that students will take the first week of school while they're in live class. And it's going to be able to give us a starting point for instruction for both whole group and small group instruction. The test will also generate small group and individualized lessons for the student to be able to access on Fridays. Your student cannot fail this test. We actually expect there will probably be about 50% of questions they do not know. Again, it's really to see what they do know. Then we'll test our students again in the middle of year and end of year to measure their growth. We need your help. We know remote learning is difficult, and we definitely need your help to set high expectations for our students so they can get the most out of remote learning. We expect them to be in proper attire. We understand that they are home and a school uniform is not necessary. We do know that when a student is dressed, their brain is ready to learn. Pajamas and robes are not okay to wear during live sessions. And if you are an adult in camera view, please be mindful of what you are wearing and adhere to our dress code as well. Please make sure there's minimal noise in your student's background while they're learning. Ideally, no noise, definitely no inappropriate music or TV shows or talking from an adult. If you're worried about noise, invest in some headphones for your students so that they can zoom in and focus even more on their learning. If possible, particularly at the beginning of the school year, please be near your child during live sessions. Sometimes they will need your help, and they might also need assistance staying focused. Number 4, please allow your child to do the work independently. We know it's tempting to whisper answers to their little ears, but we need to know what they know and understand on their own. Number 5, please refrain from asking questions about your child to his instructor during live sessions. Teachers will host daily office hours where they can be contacted directly. Just like we were in the school building, we want our live sessions to be opportunities to maximize learning. And number 6, which is perhaps most important, please be patient and flexible with us and show grace as we embark in this new journey into learning. In order for our students to be successful during remote learning, we also have expectations of them as well. Please make sure they are logged in on time and on camera. For our earliest readers, it's so important that we can see them to understand their thinking and how they're making their letter names and letter sounds. Make sure your student is muted unless they are speaking and has a computer or iPad that is charged. We will expect our students to have their materials ready. This includes pencil, paper, and any class manipulatives, as well as to use the restroom before class or during brain breaks. We've also inserted those brain breaks into the schedule to give students opportunities, the time to take care of what they need to take care of. And if you have a question during a class, we're going to teach our students and encourage them to use the chat box as well as raising their hand, just like they would in school. In terms of setting our children up for success, we have some supplies and workspace conditions that are going to help them be even more successful. First and foremost is supplies. Students need pencils, paper, headphones, dry erase markers, and any school-provided materials in order to be successful. We also know the actual space they're doing their work is really important. Try to find your student comfortable seating. A table or desk with a chair is ideal. This could be a kitchen table, dining room table, or even a cardboard box. Make sure they refrain from working on their bed so that they can focus. Bright lighting is always helpful, not only in keeping scholars focused, but also allowing the teacher to see them clearly on camera. Please keep your student away from distractions and make sure they're in the same space every day. This will help them know that they're in a school space and be ready to learn. Last but not least, please make sure supplies are nearby so they don't have to go far to hunt for the materials they need. Just like when we were in school, and as Mr. Russell mentioned in his video, we are grounded in our Sugar Creek Charter School STAR rules. The S stands for show respect to yourself and others. T, transition quickly in an orderly manner. While we are not transitioning in a school building, it's very important that our students are quickly back from brain breaks and ready to continue learning. A, accept responsibility for your actions. R, ready to learn. And S, support your school. Similar to we would if we were in brick and mortar, we'll be using our STAR stick to help students understand and make great behavior choices. The goal for students each day is to end the day on green, meaning they've had very few redirections and have made very great behavior choices. Sometimes they may end on yellow, which is mostly satisfactory. They might have needed a few skill builders and few redirections. Blue and red are reserved for unsatisfactory and extremely unsatisfactory behaviors. If a student runs out of clips, they should receive an office referral. I do want to take a moment to say thank you to all of our rising first grade families who were with us as kindergartners last year. Our students were so engaged, and that is a testament to you all as parents. So we foresee all of our students having great green days. There are times where students will go above and beyond. When they go above and beyond, we want to reward that behavior that's exemplary and help them level up to purple. Purple is a color placement given at the end of the day who students who have exhibited exemplary behavior. They're notified this at the end of the day. Green is a great goal for every day. Purple is a goal for very, very special days. In order to help all of our students stay incentivized, we have incentives that are beyond the STAR stick. While we have Student of the Day, we also like to celebrate Student of the Month. We'll have Wildcat Pride parties, end of class shout outs, morning shout outs, positive message home, dance breaks, virtual certificates and field trips, as well as show and tell and other fun teacher-based incentives to really help our students learn and expect that they're gonna make great choices. In the event a student is not making great choices, there's a couple ways they might be redirected during remote learning. First and foremost is we want to use positive narration to help curtail the whole class. That could sound like, I like how Charlie is very focused on the camera. After that, we might use an individual correction to the student or a whole class reset. A teacher might also use a proactive brain break or control the student's mute button. If a student is really struggling to make great choices, a teacher might send that student in the waiting room and help them regroup or have an immediate phone call home. If your student ends the day on yellow or below, you can expect the teacher to have conference with your student as well as a contact of yourself as the parent, whether it is a remind, a phone call, or a text. We want to make sure our students are incentivized to behave, which is why we're also going to be throwing those Wildcat Pride parties. These are a special celebration for students who have consistently been showing good behavior. As long as they've had no more than 3 yellows, no blues, no reds, and no more than 3 times in the waiting room, they'll be invited to a special party to celebrate all their great choices. All students will attend the first Wildcat Pride party in September. As I mentioned previously, we want to be sure our students are dressed ready to learn. So we have loosened our dress code for remote learning. Things that are in the yes column that students may wear include jeans, pants, sneakers, t-shirts, joggers, sandals, bare feet, or last year's uniform if they still have it and it still fits. Things that students should not be wearing during remote learning include spaghetti straps, tank tops, pajamas, t-shirts with inappropriate language, and short shorts. There will be times when students are standing, so both of what they are wearing on the top and bottom half of their body is really important. Moreover, we know that students are most successful when they are dressed in a way that frees up their brain to learn. We're very excited to be working with our school intervention team to help our struggling scholars this year. As you can see, our intervention team is quite large, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how intervention works at Sugar Creek Charter School. At Sugar Creek, we use a multi-tiered system to help students be successful. They're screened through assessments and then receive different levels of support. So just because a student does not have a 504 or IEP, they may receive some interventions if we have noticed they are struggling and in-classroom interventions are not working. Intervention classes will be small pull-out classes that are taught Monday through Thursday from 12:30 to 3. This will be instruction that's differentiated based on the student's individual needs and driven by data. They will include weekly progress monitoring. Students that are eligible for intervention are students that have been retained and are returning from a previous school year that have already been referred to the EC department. If a student, as they progress through the year, we realize is not making adequate growth, we may refer them to intervention to give them more support. We know this year is going to be difficult, different, and challenging. Because of that, we want to highlight how important communication is. We also understand that contact information changes. Your cell phone, your home address, or your email may change throughout the school year. Please, please keep us up to date with the changes to your contact information at all times. You can always rejoin your teacher's Remind class by adding their Remind code back. Our other main communication tool this year will be Canvas. We'll use this platform to turn in assignments, access classroom materials and online resources, contact teachers, and provide feedback on the assignments. And access to this exciting platform will begin August 24th. Please do not fret. As we roll out this platform, we are going to work with students to teach them how to do it during live classes. Last but not least, we wanted to share all of our contact information so that you could reach out to us. Please allow us 24 hours to get back with you. And if someone is not available on the phone, please leave them a detailed voice message so they can promptly answer your call with an answer. We really, really appreciate you taking the time to join us during open house for the upcoming school year.